Welcome to my channel, Bookish English. Have you ever felt that your English sounds correct, but not real? Like a book? Not like a person? Today, I will show you how to talk in English like a real person, simple, natural, and confident. Stay with me, because this can change the way you speak forever. Chapter 1. English is not a textbook. Let me tell you something very important. Something that can change the way you see English from today. Many learners believe that English is a subject with rules, with grammar, with perfect sentences, with no mistakes. Maybe you also feel this way. Maybe you think before speaking. Maybe you stop yourself because the sentence is not perfect. Maybe you stay silent because you are afraid to be wrong. And slowly, this fear becomes your habit. You understand English, but you do not speak it. You know words, but they do not come out. And deep inside, you feel frustrated. You feel stuck. But what if I tell you something surprising? What if I tell you that real English is not like this at all? Real English is not a textbook. Real English is not perfect. Real English is alive. It moves. It breathes. It changes. Real people do not speak like grammar books. They do not sit and think about tenses before speaking. They do not try to build long, perfect sentences every time. Instead, they speak in a very simple, very natural way. They pause. They repeat. They change their words. They even make mistakes. Yes, even native speakers make mistakes. And they are still confident. They are still understood. They are still real. Think about this for a moment. When you speak in your own language, do you always speak perfectly? Do you always use perfect grammar? Of course not. Sometimes you stop. Sometimes you say something like, wait, I mean, sometimes you change your sentence in the middle. Sometimes you repeat yourself. And that is normal. That is human. That is real communication. So why do you expect yourself to be perfect in English? This is where most learners struggle. They are not weak. They are not bad at English. They are just thinking in the wrong way. They are trying to speak like a book, not like a person. And this creates pressure. This creates fear. This creates silence. But today, we are breaking this belief. Today, you are going to understand something powerful. Your goal is not perfect English. Your goal is real English. Real English sounds like this. I was, um, I was going to the market, and I mean, I saw my friend there. Can you see it? This is not perfect, but it is natural. It is easy. It flows. Words come out step by step. There is no pressure. There is no fear. This is how people speak. Simple, human, real. Let me show you another example. A textbook sentence might be, Yesterday, I went to the market and purchased some fruits for my family. But a real person might say, Yesterday, I went to the market and I bought some fruits for my family. Short, simple, natural pauses, easy to say, easy to understand. This is real English. Now I want you to feel something. I want you to relax. Take a deep breath. You do not need to be perfect. You do not need big words. You do not need long sentences. You just need to speak. Even if it is slow, even if it is broken, even if it is not perfect. Because that is how real communication starts. And here comes a very powerful moment. Listen carefully. What if your broken English is already closer to real English than you think? Yes. What if the way you speak now, with small mistakes and pauses, is actually the beginning of real, natural English? This is not weakness. This is progress. This is how fluency begins. From today, I want you to change your mindset. Do not try to sound like a textbook. Try to sound like a human. Use simple words. Speak slowly. Pause when you need. Say I mean, say you know, say kind of. These small expressions make your English sound real. They give you time to think. They help your brain relax. And when your brain relaxes, your words come out more easily. Also, remember this. Communication is more important than perfection. If people understand you, you are successful. That is it. That is the goal. Not perfect grammar. Not perfect pronunciation. Just clear communication. Step by step, day by day, your English will improve. But it will improve naturally, not with pressure. You are not learning English to pass a test. You are learning English to speak, to connect, to express yourself, to say what you feel, to share your thoughts, to tell your story. And your story does not need perfect grammar. It needs your voice. So from today, give yourself permission to be imperfect. Give yourself permission to speak freely. Give yourself permission to sound real. Because the moment you stop trying to be perfect is the moment you start sounding like a real person. And this is just the beginning. Chapter 2. Speak small, speak real. Let me ask you something honestly. When you try to speak English, what happens inside your mind? You want to say one sentence, but it becomes too big, too heavy, too complicated. You start thinking about grammar, about the right words, about the perfect structure, and then something happens. You stop. The sentence breaks in your head. Your confidence goes down, and you say nothing. This is not because you don't know English. This is because you are trying to speak too big. This is one of the biggest mistakes beginners make. They try to speak long and perfect sentences from the start. But real people do not speak like that. Real people speak in small pieces, step by step, thought by thought. They do not build a big sentence first and then speak. They speak while thinking. And this is the secret you are going to learn today. From today, you will not try to speak big English. You will speak small English. And this small English will feel real, natural, and powerful. Let me show you what I mean. Imagine you want to say this. Yesterday, I woke up feeling very tired because I had worked late at night, and I didn't feel like going to work, but I still forced myself to go. This is a correct sentence. But for a beginner, this is very heavy. It is long. It needs planning. It creates pressure. Now listen to the real version. Yesterday, I woke up. I was very tired. I worked late at night. I didn't want to go to work, but I went. Can you feel the difference? This is simple. This is easy. This is real. You are saying the same idea, but in small pieces. And your brain feels relaxed. This is how real communication works. You do not need to say everything in one sentence. You can break your thoughts. You can pause. You can continue. You can breathe. And slowly, your message becomes clear. Let's take another example. A learner might try to say, I am learning English because I want to improve my communication skills and become more confident in speaking with other people. And again, this is correct, but difficult. Now let's make it real. I am learning English because I want to speak better. I want more confidence. I want to talk to people easily. Simple, natural, human. Now I want you to understand something very important. Speaking small does not mean speaking weak. It means speaking smart. It means giving your brain space. It means allowing your words to come out naturally. And when your words come out naturally, your confidence grows. Confidence is not built by speaking perfectly. Confidence is built by speaking continuously. Even if it is simple. Even if it is slow. When you speak in small sentences, you do not feel stuck. You keep going. And that feeling, that flow, is what builds real confidence. Think about a child learning a language. A child does not say long sentences in the beginning. A child says, I want water. I am tired. I go outside. I play. Small sentences, but very powerful, because they are real, because they are spoken without fear, and slowly, those small sentences become bigger, but the foundation is always simple. You can do the same. You do not need to jump to big sentences. Start small, stay small, grow naturally. Now here comes a powerful moment. I want you to see yourself before and after. Before, you try to speak one long sentence. You stop. You feel nervous. You think too much. You stay silent. After, you speak small sentences, one by one. You pause. You continue. You feel relaxed. You keep speaking. This is the shift. This is the transformation. Not from bad English to perfect English, but from silence to speaking. From today, I want you to practice like this. Take your daily life and speak it in small pieces. I am sitting. I am drinking tea. It is hot. I like it. I feel relaxed. This is real English. This is natural English. This is how you build your speaking habit. Do not rush. Do not try to impress. Do not try to sound advanced. Just try to sound real. Because real always wins over perfect. And here is something beautiful. When you speak in small sentences, you actually speak faster. Yes, faster. Because you are not waiting to build a big sentence. You are speaking immediately. Your brain and your mouth start working together, and slowly, your speed improves without stress. Also, people understand you better, because your ideas are clear. Short sentences are easy to understand. They are powerful. They carry meaning without confusion. So from today, change your speaking style. Break your thoughts. Speak in chunks. Pause. Continue. Do not be afraid of silence between sentences. That silence is not weakness. That silence is part of natural speech. You are not learning English to sound like a machine. You are learning English to sound like yourself. And your real voice comes out when you are relaxed, not when you are under pressure. So remember this simple rule. Speak small, speak real, and keep going. And when you do this, something amazing will happen. One day, you will speak, and you will not stop. Not because your English is perfect, but because your English is flowing. And that is the moment everything changes. Chapter 3. Stop translating, start feeling. Let me show you something that is quietly slowing you down every time you try to speak English. It is not your vocabulary. It is not your grammar. It is something deeper, something happening inside your mind without you even noticing. It is translation. You think in your own language first, then you try to change it into English. And by the time you are ready to speak, the moment is gone. The confidence is gone. And sometimes, the words are gone too. This is why you feel slow. This is why you feel nervous. Not because you do not know English, but because your brain is doing extra work. It is like walking with a heavy bag. You can walk, but it feels hard. It feels tiring. And after some time, you just want to stop. Now imagine something different. Imagine your brain becomes light. Imagine you do not need to translate. Imagine you feel something, and you say it directly in English. No waiting, no pressure, just a natural response. This is what real speakers do. They do not translate, they feel, and they speak. Let's understand this in a simple way. Right now, if you feel thirsty, what happens in your mind? In your language, the feeling comes first, then the words come naturally. You do not think about grammar. You do not build a sentence. You just say it. I am thirsty. Easy. Fast. Natural. Now the goal is to create the same connection in English. Instead of thinking in your language and then translating, you connect English directly with your feeling. You feel hunger. You say, I am hungry. You feel tired. You say, I am tired. You see something beautiful. You say, this is nice. No translation. Just feeling to words. At first, this might feel strange. Your brain will try to go back to translation. It will say, wait, think in your language first. But you gently stop it. You say, no, I will try directly in English. Even if it is slow, even if it is simple, even if it is not perfect, because this is how you build a new habit. You do not need to think in English all the time. Do not put pressure on yourself. Start with small moments. Very small. Maybe you are drinking water. Just say in your mind, I am drinking water. Maybe you are walking. Say, I am walking. Maybe you are tired. Say, I feel tired. These are small steps, but they are powerful. These small moments train your brain. Slowly, your brain starts understanding that English is not something outside. It becomes part of your thinking. It becomes part of your daily life. And something beautiful begins to happen. Your speed improves. Your confidence grows. And speaking starts to feel natural. Let me give you a simple example. A learner who translates might think like this. I want to say something. Okay. First I think in my language. Then I find English words. Then I check grammar. Then I speak. This takes time. This creates fear. This breaks flow. But a learner who feels and speaks thinks like this. I feel something. I say it. That's it. No extra steps. No heavy thinking. Just direct expression. Now here comes a powerful question. I want you to listen carefully. What if you already know English, but your brain is blocking it? What if the words are already inside you, but translation is slowing you down? Think about it. You understand many English words. You recognize sentences when you hear them. So why can't you speak easily? Because your brain is not used to thinking directly in English. But the good news is this. You can train your brain, step by step, day by day, with simple practice. Start with your environment. Look around you. See a chair. Say chair. See a phone. Say phone. See your room. Say my room. These are not big sentences, but they are direct connections. Object to English. No translation. Then move to actions. I am sitting. I am opening my phone. I am watching a video. These are real actions. Real life. Real English. And your brain starts learning fast because it connects with reality. Then move to feelings. This is very powerful. I feel happy. I feel bored. I feel nervous. These are human emotions. When you connect English with emotions, your memory becomes stronger. Your speaking becomes more natural. Do not worry about mistakes. Do not stop yourself. Even if you say something wrong, you are still building the connection. You are training your brain, and that is more important than being correct. Also, be patient. This is not a one-day change. This is a process. At first, it will feel slow, then it will feel easier. Then one day, you will notice something amazing. You will speak, and you will not translate. Words will come directly, naturally, and you will feel proud. This is the moment when English becomes part of you. Not a subject, not a lesson, but a language you live in. So from today, do not fight with English. Do not force big sentences. Just feel. Just observe. Just speak small, real thoughts. Because the moment you stop translating is the moment your real voice begins to come out. And trust me, it is already inside you. Chapter 4. Talk to yourself daily. Now we move from understanding to action, because knowing is not enough. You already know many words. You already understand many sentences. But speaking comes only when you use your voice. And here is something powerful, something simple, something that can change everything for you. You do not need a classroom. You do not need a partner. You do not need perfect conditions. You can practice English alone. Yes, alone. In your room. In your daily life. In your own world. Most learners wait. They wait for a teacher. They wait for a friend. They wait for the right time. And while they wait, nothing changes. Days pass. Weeks pass. And the fear stays the same. But real speakers are not made by waiting. Real speakers are made by doing, by speaking, by trying again and again, even when no one is watching. This is where self-talk becomes your superpower. Talking to yourself in English may feel strange at first. You might think, is this normal? Yes, it is not just normal, it is powerful. Because when you talk to yourself, there is no pressure. No one is judging you. No one is correcting you. You are free. And in that freedom, your real voice starts to grow. Let's make it simple. You do not need big topics. You do not need difficult sentences. Just start with your daily life. Right now, wherever you are, you can begin. I am sitting. I am watching this video. I am learning English. I feel a little excited. That's it. Simple. Real. Natural. Maybe you wake up in the morning. You can say, I am waking up. I feel sleepy. I don't want to get up. But I will try. You are brushing your teeth. I am brushing my teeth. The water is cold. I am still tired. You are drinking tea. I am drinking tea. It is hot. I like it. It feels good. These are not big sentences, but they are alive. They are connected to your life. This is how English becomes real. Not from books, not from memorizing, but from living it. And something beautiful starts to happen when you do this every day. At first, it feels slow. You think about words. You pause. You repeat. But slowly, your speed improves. Your brain starts helping you. Words come faster. Sentences come more easily. And one day you realize something surprising. You are speaking without thinking too much. That is growth. That is fluency starting. Let me tell you something very important. Fluency is not about speaking fast. Fluency is about speaking freely. And self-talk gives you that freedom. You can talk about anything. Your plans, your feelings, your problems. I have a lot of work today. I feel stressed. But I will try my best. I want to learn English. I want to speak better. I will not stop. These sentences are not perfect, but they are yours, and that is what matters. Also, self-talk helps you build confidence in a very natural way. Because every time you speak, even alone, you are training your mind. You are telling yourself, I can speak. And slowly, this belief becomes strong, very strong. Now imagine this. One day someone asks you a question in English. Before, you felt nervous. You stayed silent. But now, because you practice daily, your brain is ready, your mouth is ready, and you answer. Maybe not perfectly, but clearly. And that moment changes everything. This is why daily practice matters. Not long hours, not hard study, just small, consistent speaking. Even 5 minutes a day can change your life. Yes, just 5 minutes. But those 5 minutes must be real. You must speak, not just think, not just listen. Speak. And here comes a powerful truth. You don't need a partner. You can become fluent alone. Feel this deeply. You are not dependent on anyone. Your progress is in your control. Your voice is in your control. You can start now, right now, not tomorrow, not later, now. Do not worry about mistakes. Do not stop to correct every sentence. Just keep going. Let your English flow, even if it is slow, even if it is broken, because that is how it becomes strong. Make it a habit, every day, morning, evening, anytime. Speak to yourself. Describe your world. Share your thoughts. Express your feelings. Your room becomes your classroom. Your life becomes your lesson. And you become your own teacher. And one day, without even noticing, you will not be practicing anymore. You will be living in English. And that is the moment everything changes. Chapter 5. Copy Real People, Shadowing Light version. Now something very interesting is about to happen in your journey. Until now, you have learned how to think simple, how to speak small, how to stop translating, and how to talk to yourself. But there is still one thing missing, and that thing is how you sound. Because speaking English is not only about words, it is also about how those words feel when they come out of your mouth. Many learners speak correct English, but something feels off. It sounds flat. It sounds robotic. It sounds like reading, not like talking. And the reason is simple. They are speaking words, but not speaking with feeling. Real people do not just speak words. They speak with emotion, with tone, with rhythm. Their voice goes up, goes down, pauses, stretches, relaxes. And this is what makes English sound natural. So how do you learn this? You copy. But not in a heavy, stressful way. Not like a robot, repeating again and again without understanding. No, you copy like a human. You listen, you feel, and then you speak. This is what I call light shadowing. Let's make it very simple. You take a short sentence, very short, maybe something like, I don't know. Now listen to how a real person says it. Maybe they say, I don't know, in a relaxed, soft tone. Maybe they sound a little tired. Maybe they pause slightly before no. Now you repeat it, not just the words, but the feeling, the same tone, the same pause. You are not copying the sentence, you are copying the person. And this is where the magic begins. At first, you might feel strange. You might think, why am I copying like this? But slowly, Your mouth learns. Your ears learn. Your brain learns. And your English starts to sound alive. Let's try another example. Imagine someone says, "Really?" in a surprised, happy tone. It goes up. Really? Now say it like that. Feel the surprise. Feel the emotion. Now say the same word in a different way. Confused. Really? Slower. Lower. Different feeling. Same word. Different sound. This is what makes English real. Let's take a simple sentence. I'm tired. Now say it in a tired way. Slow. Soft. I'm tired. Now say it in a complaining way. I'm tired. Lung. Now say it in a calm, normal way. I'm tired. Do you see what is happening? You are not just speaking English. You are expressing yourself. And this is what real communication is. Most learners focus only on words, but real speakers focus on feeling. Because people do not just listen to your words, they feel your voice. Now I want you to understand something very important. Fluency is not just speaking fast. Fluency is not just knowing many words. Fluency is how naturally you speak, how comfortably you express yourself, and that comes from rhythm and emotion. Fluency is not just words, it is feeling. This is your retention moment. This is where your understanding goes deeper. Because now you realize that even with simple words, you can sound natural, you can sound confident, you can sound real. So how do you practice this every day? Keep it simple. Choose short clips, short sentences, maybe from videos, movies, or even simple conversations. Listen carefully, not just for words, but for how the person speaks, their tone, their speed, their pauses. Then repeat, slowly, with feeling. Do not rush. Do not try to be perfect. Just try to match the feeling. You can even play with it. Try saying the same sentence in different emotions. Happy, sad, angry, tired, excited. This makes your practice fun, and when practice is fun, you stay consistent. Also remember this, you do not need to copy everything. You are not trying to become someone else. You are learning how real speech works, and then you make it your own. Over time, something beautiful happens. You stop sounding robotic. Your voice becomes softer, more natural. Your sentences flow better. Your pauses feel real. And people start to understand you more easily. And you feel it too. You feel more comfortable, more confident, more connected to your English. Let me give you a small daily practice. Just 5 minutes. Take one sentence, listen to it, repeat it 5 times with feeling, not fast, not robotic, just real. Then move to another sentence. That's it. Small effort, big result. Do this every day, and slowly, your speaking will change. Not suddenly, but naturally. And one day you will speak, and it will not feel like practice anymore. It will feel like you. Because now, your English is not just correct, it is alive. Chapter 6. Use your life as your English. Now we come to one of the most powerful changes in your journey. Something simple, but life-changing. Until now, maybe you learned English from books, from lessons, from random topics that had nothing to do with your real life. You talked about things like, "My favorite season is spring," or "The elephant is a big animal." These sentences are correct, but they are not your life. They do not connect with you. They do not stay in your heart. And that is why you forget them. That is why English feels separate, like a subject, not like a part of you. But today, we change that. From today, English is not something you study. English is something you live. Let me ask you something very honest. What do you think about every day? Your routine, your work, your stress, your dreams, your problems, your small happy moments. This is your real world. This is your true language. And this is exactly what you should speak in English. Because real conversations do not come from textbooks. They come from life. When you meet someone, you do not say, "Hello, let us discuss the advantages of reading books." No. You say, "How are you? What did you do today? You look tired. I had a long day." These are real sentences. Simple, direct, human. And you can learn all of this from your own life. So now, instead of learning random sentences, you start speaking your life. You wake up in the morning. You say, "I woke up late today. I feel tired. I didn't sleep well. I have a lot of work." This is your truth. This is your English. You are not acting. You are not memorizing. You are expressing. You are going somewhere. You say, "I am going outside. The weather is nice. I feel good. I want to walk more." Again, simple, real, connected. You are feeling stressed. You say, "I have too much work. I feel pressure. I don't know what to do, but I will try." This is powerful. Because now English is not just language, it becomes your voice. And when English becomes your voice, something amazing happens. You stop forgetting. Because you are not remembering words, you are remembering your life. This is why this method is so strong. It connects language with emotion. And when emotion is there, memory becomes deep. Think about it. You forget a random sentence easily, but you never forget something you felt deeply. So when you speak your real thoughts, your real feelings, your brain remembers faster and longer. Now I want you to feel this moment. Imagine you are sitting alone, maybe in your room, maybe at night, and you start speaking softly in English. "Today was a long day. I was tired, but I learned something new. I feel a little better now." This is not practice anymore. This is connection. This is you speaking your truth. And slowly, English becomes comfortable. It becomes natural. It becomes yours. Also, when you speak about your life, your confidence grows in a different way. Because you already know what you want to say. You are not searching for ideas. The ideas are inside you. You just need simple words to express them. And simple words are enough. This removes pressure. This removes fear. And when fear goes away, your speaking improves. Now let me show you something important. Many learners think they need advanced vocabulary to speak well. But that is not true. Real conversations use simple words. Words you already know. Words like go, come, feel, want, think, try. These words are powerful when you use them in real situations. For example, instead of saying something difficult, you can say, "I feel nervous. I want to speak better. I try every day." This is clear. This is real. This is enough. And here comes a very powerful realization. When English becomes your life, you never forget it. This is your retention moment. Feel it deeply. Because now, English is not outside you. It is inside you. It is part of your daily experience. It is part of your thinking. It is part of your identity. You are not learning English anymore. You are living in English. And when you live in a language, you do not forget it. Just like you do not forget your own life. So from today, stop practicing random sentences. Start speaking your day, your thoughts, your feelings, your plans. Make your life your lesson. Even small moments are enough. I am hungry. I want food. I will eat soon. I am bored. I need a break. I will watch something. These are simple sentences, but they build fluency step by step. Also, do not worry about mistakes. Do not stop yourself. Speak freely, because this is your space, your voice, your journey. And over time, something beautiful will happen. You will start thinking in English naturally. You will respond faster. You will feel more confident. And speaking will not feel like a task anymore. It will feel like you. So remember this always. English is not in the book. English is in your life. And the moment you start using your life as your English, everything changes. Chapter 7. Speak without fear, not without mistakes. Now we come to the most important barrier, the one that stops more people than anything else, and that is fear. Not lack of vocabulary, not lack of grammar, but fear of making mistakes, fear of sounding wrong, fear of being judged. And maybe you know this feeling very well. You have a sentence in your mind, you want to speak, but suddenly your heart beats faster, your mind becomes blank, and you stop. You choose silence instead of trying. And after that moment you feel regret. You think, I could say something, but I didn't. And slowly this fear becomes your habit. But today we break this habit completely, because you need to understand something very clearly. Mistakes are not your enemy. Mistakes are your path. Real people make mistakes all the time. Even native speakers. They forget words. They change sentences in the middle. They say things in a wrong way and then correct themselves. And no one stops them. No one laughs at them. Because communication is not about perfection. It is about connection. It is about sharing your thoughts, your feelings, your ideas. And that does not need perfect grammar. It needs courage. Let me tell you a small story. There was a learner just like you. He understood English very well. He watched videos. He read simple texts. He knew many words, but he never spoke. Every time he tried, fear stopped him. He thought, what if I am wrong? What if people laugh? So he stayed silent, day after day. Nothing changed, until one day he made a small decision. Not a big one, just a small one. He said, today I will speak, even if it is wrong. And the first sentence he spoke was very simple. I am learning English. It was slow, it was not perfect, but it was real. And nothing bad happened. No one laughed. No one stopped him. And in that moment something changed inside him. He felt a small confidence, a small victory. The next day he tried again. I feel nervous, but I try. Again simple. Again not perfect, but stronger than yesterday. And slowly, day by day, his sentences became clearer. His voice became stronger. Not because he removed mistakes, but because he removed fear. And this is the truth you need to understand. You do not need to speak without mistakes. You need to speak without fear. Because fear is what blocks your voice, not mistakes. Mistakes are just steps. They show you where you are learning. They show you that you are trying. And trying is the most important thing. Now think about this deeply. When a child learns a language, does the child speak perfectly? No. The child makes many mistakes, but still speaks, still tries, still communicates. And that is why the child becomes fluent, not because the child is perfect, but because the child is fearless. And you can become like that again. You can return to that natural way of learning, where speaking is normal, where mistakes are okay, where progress feels light, not heavy. So from today, change your goal. Do not say, I want to speak perfect English. Say, I want to speak. That is it. Simple and powerful. Because when you focus on speaking, perfection will come slowly, naturally, without pressure. But when you focus on perfection, speaking never starts. Now I want you to imagine a moment. Someone asks you a question in English. Before, you feel fear. Your mind stops. You stay silent. But now, you take a small breath and say, I think. I mean, I feel. It is good. Maybe not perfect, maybe not smooth, but you spoke, and that moment builds your identity. You are no longer someone who is silent. You are someone who speaks. And identity is everything. When you see yourself as a speaker, your behavior changes, your confidence grows, your progress becomes faster. So do not wait to become perfect to speak. Speak to become better. This is the shift. This is the transformation. And here is your powerful realization. The moment you stop fearing mistakes, your real voice appears. Yes, your real voice is already inside you. It is not missing, it is just hidden behind fear. And when fear goes away, your voice comes out naturally, freely, confidently. So, from today, give yourself permission to be wrong. Give yourself permission to pause, to repeat, to correct yourself, to try again, because this is how real communication works. This is how real people speak, and this is how you will grow, step by step, sentence by sentence, moment by moment, until one day you speak without thinking too much, without fear, without stopping, not because you are perfect, but because you are free. And that is real fluency. Chapter 8. You are a real English speaker. Now, take a slow breath and look at how far you have come, because something has changed inside you. Maybe quietly, maybe slowly, but deeply. And this is the moment where everything connects. All the small steps you took, all the simple sentences you spoke, all the moments you chose to try instead of staying silent, they were not small. They were building something powerful. They were building you, not just your English, but your identity. Because you are not the same person who started this journey. Before, you were thinking too much, translating, waiting for perfect sentences, afraid of mistakes. But now, something is different. Now you speak in small sentences. You allow yourself to pause. You allow yourself to continue. You no longer try to sound like a textbook. You sound like a human. Your words are simple but alive. And that is what makes them powerful. Now you do not translate every thought. You feel something and you say it. Directly, naturally, even if it is slow, even if it is not perfect. Because you understand that real English is not about perfection. It is about connection. Now you talk to yourself, not because you have to, but because it feels natural. Your daily life has become your practice. Your room has become your classroom. Your thoughts have become your sentences. And slowly, English has become part of your life. Not something outside, but something inside you. Something you live with. Something you use to express who you are. And now, imagine a simple moment. Someone asks you a question. Maybe a friend. Maybe a stranger. Maybe even yourself in the mirror. How was your day? And this time, you do not freeze. You do not search for perfect grammar. You do not stay silent. You start speaking. My day was a little busy. I felt tired. But it was good. I learned something new. And maybe your sentence is not perfect. Maybe you pause. Maybe you repeat a word. But you are speaking. You are expressing. You are real. And in that moment, something clicks. Something becomes clear. You realize, I can do this. Not because you know everything, but because you are using what you know. And that is the true beginning of fluency. Not when you know all the rules, but when you use your voice without fear. When you trust your simple English. When you allow yourself to be real. And now you start noticing small changes. You respond faster. You think less about translation. Your sentences come more easily. Your confidence grows quietly. And people understand you. Not because you are perfect, but because you are clear. And more importantly, because you are present. You are not hiding anymore. You are not waiting anymore. You are participating. You are speaking. And this is where your identity shifts. You are no longer just a learner. You are a speaker. Maybe a beginner speaker. Maybe a growing speaker. But still a speaker. And that changes everything. Because when you see yourself as a speaker, you act like one. You practice more, you try more, you speak more, and your progress becomes faster, more natural, more real. And here comes the most beautiful realization of your journey. You were never silent. You were just waiting to speak. Yes, your voice was always there. Your thoughts were always there. Your ability was always there. It was just hidden behind fear, behind pressure, behind the idea that you need to be perfect. But now that idea is gone. Now you understand that your voice does not need permission. It does not need perfection. It only needs expression. And from today, you carry this with you, in your daily life, in your conversations, in your quiet moments. You keep speaking, you keep expressing, you keep growing. Not in a stressful way, but in a natural way, like a person learning to live in a new language, step by step, moment by moment. And you feel proud, not because you are perfect, but because you did not give up, because you chose to speak, because you chose to try, because you chose to become someone new. And this is not the end, this is your beginning. Your real English journey starts now. Not in a classroom, not in a book, but in your life, in your voice, in your everyday moments. And from now on, every small sentence you speak is not just practice, it is proof. Proof that you are becoming the person you wanted to be, a real English speaker. If you feel this video helped you, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below. I will speak like a real person. Your journey starts today, and I'm with you.